details around to other random companies, you know. So oh my god, you're haunted.
Yeah, that is fucking crazy. Nan, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry. My nan's just opened and bought me in a roast.
Oh,
Nan, go away. I'm doing a
Sorry.
podcast.
that is the most British thing I've ever heard.
Oh, what you bought me? Do you want to see?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do. Right. Well, it's on a little tray and everything.
Oh my lord.
Oh, right. It's a little roast. I don't know what I've got.
That looks good. That looks so nice.
Hello, everybody. Today I've got another amazing YouTuber with me today. Is Caddicarus. What do you like to go by? Is it Caddy? Do you go by Jim? Do you go by James? What do you go by?
James is the worst name ever constructed by the English language. I either go by Caddy or Jim. It's up to you, wherever the conversation leads. But if you call me James, I'm hanging up.
Okay, right. Well, I definitely won't call you James then. We should probably address to the people looking that Jim has on the screen some form of cover so the FBI don't watch him. So if you take a look to the corners of the screen, there's a bit of darkness. It's not actually that part of his room is just in darkness.
It's not a fancy part of my computer or anything. I wish it was, but it's not. It is just the edge of this little cover here. That's it. I just can't move it any further to the left. I don't know why, but there we go. So yeah. It's gonna be there. So look at it like a vignette or something.
Okie dokie. Yeah, cool. So this behind you, that's the infamous book of shelf of all the games.
That's got, right? That's 1 out of 5 shelves. Yeah,
1 out of 5, and this is the room that you do all your recording in.
VO, yes. This is the VO room. So this is my office. This is where I edit. I'm sitting at my desk right now. This is my office basically. This is where I edit. This is where I do my scripts. This is where I record VO. This is the magic room, I suppose.
Cool, amazing. And where in the country are you?
I am to make things easier for everybody, I'm basically on the border between England and Wales, so I'm right on the west. Right. Yeah, I love it here. Absolutely love it here. The good thing about my job is that I just need internet access, so we can go anywhere where we like the look of, and we're okay.
Yeah, I've got that exact same thing. If I want to go to the Bahamas, as long as I've got some internet connection, I can write a music review, so I'm all good.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed.
Right, so let's do the compulsory introduction to you. Tell everyone who you are, about your content, and what wakes you up in the morning and what terrifies you.
That's a lot of questions in one go. Right. Okay. Right. Hello, everybody. Well, Mason has already introduced me, so I don't need to do that again. Do I, or shall I?
No, you do whatever you like, boss.
I go by Caddicarus on YouTube. I've been making videos on YouTube since about I've been making videos officially since 2011, but nothing worth seeing until 2012, and nothing that I'd bother recommending until 2020. So I make it's hard to explain what I make. I make a most people would call it a review show. I don't. I just call it a load of just random nonsense, a load of gags, but not like lol random. It's obviously got a point. It's obviously scripted. I just mean there's not really any kind of formula to it. It's just, here's some terrible games, here's some good games. We put them all in one video, and we just make a massive load of jokes about it, and we go out to film, and there's explosions and gunshots and crying and sweat and sometimes other bodily fluids. But point is, it's a crazy thing, but I don't know how to describe it. Other people that see my stuff describe it better than I do. I don't sell myself very well. So.
Would it be fair to say that you're sort of a modernized sort of angry video game nerd?
Not at all, because I can't compare myself to God. That's just not gonna happen. I might look like Jesus right now, but I'm not the son of the AVGN. That's just not gonna happen.
Hold him to that higher than
I mean, he's essentially like whether people love him or hate him, James Rolfe is basically the catalyst for anybody that wanted to make comedy surrounding video games on the internet, as far as I'm concerned, or making video content around video games on the internet. And But yeah, like he does a character, I don't do a character. I'm just me, but just in a performance mode. Like what you see in the videos, that's my sense of humor. That's how I talk. That's how I write. That's how I am. I'm just a bit louder because I'm on camera, but everything there is what you get. So yeah, he does a character and he does it episodically, and I'm just shooting the shit, really.
Okay. Right. Well, should we have a little chat about video games? Because
Yeah, I don't do that enough.
yeah, yeah, okay. My soul. So obviously it's your job. Do you still enjoy playing video games even though it's your job?
I do indeed, yes. Although people would they don't usually understand with the job that I have, it's not let's playing, it's not anything like that. So I would say 10% of my time is playing games and the other 90 is working. Whether it be writing or editing or filming or recording VO, or streaming, which I suppose is just playing games, I suppose. But yeah, before I streamed, which was only recently, free time game playing was out of the question. Like everything I did for reviews, and it became very, very stressful and horrible. And now I've got a little bit more free time, a little bit. I've been able to manage my time a little bit better. But yeah, in general, though, I mostly play games for the channel. And then any free time I have / new games I want to play, I stream them, and which is also technically work. So yeah, between like me time, me controller, me vibratey on trousers, no, that doesn't happen very often. I suppose it could happen on stream, but I think I'd be removed off of the platform.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into sort of because I've heard in other podcasts you talking about sort of like the stresses of YouTube and stuff like that. We're going to get into that later, but for now, well, we're still getting to know each other. You know, we're still in the early minutes of meeting each other. So let's not try and get too much into the deep depths of your lives. 2020. Compared to other years for video games, how did it equate? What were your favorite games? What were the worst games?
Oh, geez. I mean, 2020 was such a horrible year, as everybody knows already. But because of that, I kind of stayed away from any kind of negative press regarding anything. I just kept it safe. You know, you don't want to blow money and time on something which is mediocre, or like half of the people like it, half of the people don't. Like I stayed very safe. I had my Doom Eternal, I had my Animal Crossing, I had all of that kind of stuff going on. But to be honest, like my memory is shot. So if you've got a list of games, I can tell you if I liked them or not. I think honestly, I think my favorite game of 2020 by default was New Horizons, Animal Crossing, and I'll tell you why. Not because it's the best mechanically, not because it's my favorite Animal Crossing game. There are other Animal Crossing games that have allowed you to do a lot more. There's more mechanics and stuff. So it's not the most ambitious or most creative Animal Crossing game. The other ones you could argue are better, but the time it released and the time it took out of my life just trying to get my head around everything that was going on, that alone means it by default it's game of the year for me. And also it's the most amount of time I've ever put into any video game in my life. So and it doesn't even feel like I put that much time into it. And so I can't say that that's not my game of the year, because it's like, how could I put 250 hours into it and not even realize I put that much time into it? But then with Doom Eternal, which I still like, but I put about 30 hours into it and it felt like 30 hours, you know? So it's like, it's a different kind of experience, Animal Crossing. But yeah, based on just the fact that I played so much of it and didn't even realize I played so much of it because of how much I was sucked into it, yeah, Animal Crossing is probably my favorite.
Well, it came at a time when it seemed like people needed it the most, right? I mean, I know so many people that were daily breakdowns, and then Animal Crossing came out and they were every other day they'd have a breakdown.
Yeah.
So
well, it's a little, especially because it's on Switch as well. So it's kind of, there's the portable aspect as well. So it's like a holiday in your pocket. So you could.
Not like we're going anywhere though.
Well, yeah, exactly. So you can go somewhere with the dodos to another random island and then bring an animal friend back with you. So yeah, and it doesn't break any customs laws. So it's great. It's great.
Well, the games I really wanted, what I wanted to know about is, unless I've missed on my research, I haven't seen you, at least on your YouTube channel, talk about Cyberpunk. Did you bother?
What's Cyberpunk? I haven't heard of Cyberpunk.
I can't tell. I can't tell if you're being
I'm
serious.
fucking with you.
Shut up! I hate Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
That was so good.
Sorry. It's because everybody we haven't spoken before. So it's hard to gauge sometimes. Sarcasm is hard when you're
No,
British and you haven't met each
very
other.
convincing. No, I can tell the
well,
accent
in that
doesn't come out.
okay, well, in that case, if I was convincing, I'm not very good at sarcasm then in that
Right,
case,
okay.
because that means I'm lying. So anyway, yeah,
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. I don't care.
No?
I love CD Projekt Red. Witcher 3 is one of my favorite video games ever made. I loved the look of it. Keanu steps out at fucking E3 or whatever it was, and everyone like I can't deny that I was excited to play it. And then, delay happens, and that's fine. But the more delays happen, the more I'm like, yes, I'm glad it's happening. But then that also means people get angsty, and when people get angsty, corners start getting cut, things start getting rushed, because especially if you're a smaller team like CD Projekt Red is, because I don't think they're indie. They're not indie, are they? Or are they?
No,
I don't know what.
Still AAA games, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't really know what they're classed as, but like they're not EA, they're not like Ubisoft, they're not that scale. So it's like they can't just brush aside fan comments and just get on with what they think is the right thing to do. If they've had all that hype build up and all that pressure and everything, then all the delays said to me, it's just not ready, and it's going to be released when it's not ready. I could see it coming, and it's a shame that it was released when it wasn't ready. But then I've heard if you've got a good PC, it's awesome. So
the thing
I
is,
don't know.
I don't want to blame the fans for getting it and disliking it, because it's not their fault. It's CG Projekt Red faults. It's their fault. But I mean, like you say, there's a lot of pressure behind it. But how could you not see it from a mile off? Like, since this beginning of this generation, video games are coming out broken. And I mean, it was like it back in the SNES days, but it's happening more and more regularly. The games are coming out broken. Surely we can just see it from a mile off these days. We knew that it was too ambitious.
I mean, especially with the PS4 version, I've seen stuff about the PS4 version, and I don't even think there's a PS5 version, as far as I'm aware. I think it's
you
just
can emulate it on the PS5 through like got PS5.
The backwards compatibility, but I don't think that would make much of a difference, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't get too involved with any kind of news nowadays. I used to a lot. But then a few things happened. First of all, 2020's made me realize life is too fucking short.
Oh yeah, man.
So there's other shit to care about. And more importantly, though, I'm not in CD Projekt Red. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Nobody was there aside from the people that were there. And so everybody can only just speculate. And if everybody is just speculating and just coming up with theories, then no one's getting the full story, which means I can't really follow it or care that much. If there's like an expose from inside the company or like a whistleblower, then I'm a little bit more interested. Like kind of like, is that what happened with Naughty Dog? There was a whistleblower that was like, I'm being overworked, help me. I can't remember, but like,
oh right,
yeah, I don't know the full story behind that. But yeah, again, I'm just like, I'm here to make sure that everybody's having a nice time, and that I'm doing things that I enjoy, and that my family's okay, and all this other superfluous shit. Like, if the game's good, great, I'll keep playing it. If it's not and it's losing my interest, fine, I'll drop it. And like, that's all that anyone wants me to say anyway. Like, I'm not a journalist. I never claimed to be. I'm not even a reviewer. If I claimed to be in the past, I was stupid. I'm not. I can't put myself up on that kind of pedestal, because there are other people that actually get games day one, finish them in fucking 48 hours, and then come up with really detailed essays. And I'm not that person.
I don't agree with that at all.
I don't.
I think you are a reviewer, because I mean, especially these days, your videos are most of them are an hour long. What is the difference between you and an IGN reviewer?
Because what I'm saying, though, is that I'm doing something that I enjoy doing immensely, and I'm doing it in my own time, under my own pressure, about shit I want to talk about. I can't compare. That's like me saying, it's a very weird analogy, and I'm probably gonna piss people off. You say anything, you piss people off. But like, that's the way I look at it, is like me saying because our kids are at home homeschooling right now. And I can compare this situation to, like, you can say I'm a reviewer, that's your opinion, that's fine, but I can't call myself comfortably like, oh, it's my badge, it's my profession. I can't do that, because that's like me going over to my youngest Amy and saying to her, okay, so this is how I do maths and this is how I work it out. And does this make sense? And she goes, yeah. And we go, yeah, okay, so let's work it all out. That doesn't make me a maths teacher.
Yeah, true.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like, I can't compare my situation of comfortability and doing shit in my own time, in my own way. Like, okay, recently I was streaming Sackboy: A Big Adventure, for the PS5. And I thought it was a depressingly mediocre game. I was not gripped. I think I ended my playthrough. I got to World 5. There are 6 worlds. I got to the first few levels of World 5. I was 100%ing all of it. And I was teetering on the edge of, I am just not interested enough. And I kind of want to see where this is going. It was a 5 out of 10. I was like, half of it was like, I really don't give a fuck. The other half was, I still want to see where it's going. And then eventually, after 7 sessions of about 2 hours plus playing the game, I just stopped. So I was like 15 hours into the game and I just fucking stopped, because I was like, well, I mean, it's live, it's on YouTube, people can see what actually happened, but I was just fed up with the fucking game. And I was like, I am missing out on Hades, and I'm missing out on Rayman Redemption. I'm missing out on all this shit I've heard so much good shit about, to play a game that I'm not that into. But a reviewer has to go through the whole fucking thing regardless. And they will do it much faster than me, and they will do it under time pressure, and they will. And so I can't then go, oh yeah, I'm an expert reviewer. I'm not. I'm just a guy that plays fucking video games, and people want to see me talk about my opinions on them. So I suppose by definition that makes me a reviewer, but I don't ever approach what I do in a reviewing mindset. I just like I said earlier, I just shoot the shit and see what happens.
I think sometimes you're right, but what breaks my heart, because I agree with you, maybe there should be a difference between a reviewer that is forced to play a game and has to play it through, and you who's doing it for fun. But what I'm seeing more and more happening recently, especially in people like IGN, is, bear in mind, we only played the first 10 hours of this game. Well, if you've only played the first 10 hours of the game, how can you release a review?
Oh, I see. I don't know about that shit, because again, I don't keep up with it. That's the thing. That's why I say I can't comfortably call myself a journalist. I don't keep up to date with this shit. I do what I do in my own time, in my own way, you know. So by definition, you could say people come to my videos to see me talk about things in a certain way and see how I think about them, or watch me stream to see how I react to things and what I think about things. But at the end of the day, that's all people are doing. They're coming to see me talk about things. They're not coming to see specific gameplay being played in a professional way, and they're not coming to see me go in depth with a massive critique on something. So like I have done specialized review videos in the past, I'm aware, but I'm saying 2020 has changed me a little bit, and I'm just looking at things a little bit more loosely in terms of how I approach things. And I don't feel whether or not it's your opinion on what I do or not, or anyone's opinion on what I do or not, I can't comfortably sit here in a comfortable position as my own boss, doing my own shit in my own time, making comedy videos essentially, and then say I'm on the same caliber as people that are thrown into awful situations where they have to rush through games by some faceless, emotionless company that only cares about the clicks. Like, it's the same thing about, like, I can teach you what I know, but I can never ever say, oh, I'm a teacher, I know exactly what you're going through. It's like, I don't, you know?
You count yourself, is it fair to say you count yourself as an entertainer?
Yeah, that's what I would always count myself as. Yeah, that's what I hope anyway. People keep coming back to my videos for, which is to have a laugh, or to apparently fall asleep to my voice, which surprises me.
You have a soothing voice.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I was listening to your podcast the other day to do some research with somebody, and I fell asleep. Not because you're boring, but it is so soothing.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. I don't think it's very warm. I think it's very high up there, and very kind of, oh, is he posh or is he not posh? I don't know. I can't help where. I mean, you know what English accents can be like. I'm very, very Southern England, so to some people I'm as posh as anything. Mostly in the States I'm considered quite posh, but I'm not posh. You can tell me I'm not posh. You can hear it in my voice. I don't say my T's, like when I say fart. I say fart, not fart. You know, like I'm not posh, but I'm glad that you can find some solace in my voice because I
It-
can't. I
it-
can't stand my voice. That's
it's
why
very
I mask
creepy.
it.
It's very creepy when somebody says they've fallen asleep to your voice, because I've had friends tell me they've fallen asleep to my podcasts, and I just think that is the weirdest thing in the world.
Well, that I see that would make more sense to me because A, your voice is very lovely, and B, if it's a podcast situation, it's like it's a different style of talking to somebody, right? And it's a different style of presenting your voice. But with me, I'm always like, "Oh, what the hell is going?" It's like I don't know how
You scream a
people.
lot.
Yeah, I don't get how people fall asleep to hyperactive me or exaggerated me. That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Maybe every so often I can say a sentence in a very soothing way. And if I tried to, I'm sure I could do an audiobook, I'm sure. But like in general, no, I don't understand how people can. I mean, Jesus Christ, in my Crash 4 video, it opens with me screaming as I run down the stairs, pick up Amy, and throw her out of the fucking second story house window. Like, I don't know how people can relax to that. So yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Maybe there's potential for us to work for like Headspace or something. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the future for us.
Yeah, POV, you're being abused by weird British man.
so that tickled me a little bit. Okay, so moving on. 2021. Games you're hyped for.
What's coming out this year?
That's why I was hoping you would know.
Resident Evil Village is coming out this year, isn't it? May?
Yeah, that is coming out. It's coming out sometime soon.
And I wouldn't have remembered that unless I saw the memes about Tall Lady. I wouldn't have remembered that. But that's not because I don't like the look of it. I love the look of it. But again, my memory is I just don't remember shit like this. I'm very much, oh, that's coming out, sweet, and then I go and buy it, you know. So, but yeah. So if you have you got a list in front of you? I can tell you what I'm excited for.
No,
if you could...
I don't. I tell you what. But what I wanted more to chat about than the list or specific things was, it seems like at this point there's not actually many games announced yet, because look at us, we're struggling to remember what games is announced. If you asked, oh, there's the new Horizon Zero Dawn game, but
is that coming out this year?
I believe so. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna open a tab here. Wait a minute. Games. I'm a video game career. Okay,
so the thing that I was saying is that it doesn't seem like there's many games announced. We're in a new console generation. Where's...
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at a list. Actually, there's not much that. Yeah, Resident Evil Village, Deathloop, Far Cry 6. I mean, Skywalker Saga. I thought that was coming out last year. I guess it didn't come out last year. Oh, right. The new Ratchet and Clank's coming out this year, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Horizon's coming out this year. Evil Dead the game's coming out this year. That looked pretty good. Ghostwire Tokyo looked pretty good. Yeah, there's a few things. Oh, hopefully God of War Ragnarok, which I might hopefully like better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that as well. I gave it a 6 out of 10 in my review of it.
Yeah, I'm playing through that at the moment, and it's not as amazing as everyone said it is.
And well, I mean, I could be lazy and say I did a video of it, go and watch it. And I know that sounds hypocritical of me saying, because I'm like, I don't class myself as a reviewer, and I did a review of it. Yeah, but the video I did of it was structured and paced and discussed like a review. So like, I can't argue.
A couple of years old, so I'm sure nobody's interested.
Yeah. I mean, it is a few years old at this point, but yeah, I did go into quite a lot of depth with it. I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I liked it more than I didn't. A 6 out of 10 is a good. It's
anything
good.
Over a 5 is positive, isn't
yeah,
it?
anything over a 5 is I'm excited to see what the sequel does, because I love God of War as a series. I love Kratos, and I love how they do. I just didn't think that the style of the gameplay worked with the camera angle. I just don't think it. Like, I just would have rather they went back, if they were doing that kind of gameplay, just not over the shoulder, not so cramped, not so fucking restrictive, and quick turns and shit. Like, do you know how you quick turn in the original God of Wars? You turn the analog stick the other way, immediate. You can see what's coming behind you. You don't need warning lights around you. It's all because they want to do the cinematic one shot. Everything's seamless. Yeah, but I don't care about that. I want to make sure, because I could have experienced a game's story, which I thought God of War was a good story. I really did. And I loved the characters in it, but I could have experienced that with the gameplay of the original God of War and gone, oh my, holy shit, this is a fucking awesome game. But I think it missed the mark in too many places. But that's just my...
Yeah, I'm a sucker for all that up its own arse kind of stuff. I love The Last of Us 2 when everyone else hated it. So, but anyway,
I liked that. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I liked it.
It had a nice little place in my heart. I was like, I didn't like the first one. This one's quite nice. Anyway.
So you preferred it to the first one? Interesting. I've never heard that before. Gameplay wise, I can understand that.
I liked the fact that they had LGBT characters and they were done well. Everybody said it was forced down your throat. I thought it was nice to have. There was a trans character in it that I didn't even realize was trans until I Googled it. And I was just like, I like representation. I like good facial animations. I like a storyline. And while the storyline wasn't perfect, I was like, if this was a movie, I would have sat down and I would have enjoyed this.
That's where we differ, because I played 35 hours of it, and that was 35 hours. Holy fuck, that felt like 35 hours. I was tired of that game.
When you get to the Abbey bit, that time.
It was so bloated. It was so full of itself. In my opinion.
I loved it though is because I spent all that time hating Abby, and then at the end when I had to kill her, and well, you're supposed to kill her, I didn't want to. And
spoilers.
It's an old game now. It's been out a year, but like that's what I thought. I was like, if in the same way in Metal Gear Solid 2, you play as Raiden the whole game and you hate him, and then by the end you quite like him. I like that. But anyway, these are old games.
Yeah, we're going off on tangents.
What I want to talk about is the PlayStation 5. So let me get the quote. Sorry. Right. You said that you felt like compared to the PC, the PS4 felt like it was a generation behind. You said that in a podcast. Do you think the PS4 ever caught up to the PC? And do you think that the PS5 will just have the exact same problems?
No, I don't. I genuinely think PS4 for one. This is what some people love to like. I mean that's just what the internet is. Take a sentence said by somebody and judge their entire character based around it. Especially when it comes to something as mundane and pointless as a video game opinion. But anyway, I think the PS4, as much as I loved using it, and as much as I got the fucking PS4 Pro, and I upgraded that when I needed to, and I've got loads. I've got more PS4 games on my shelf than I've got PS3 games. The exclusives were great. You know, I've got no problems with the PS4, but I do think that whenever I booted it up, whenever I booted my little PS4 up, it just didn't compare to when I booted my PC up. And now I've got to the point where PS5, I can play Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my PS5, no issues at all, 60 FPS, gorgeous visuals, and like it's not quite as good as a PC, obviously, but it's the closest thing we've had so far to a PC experience at a friendlier retail all-in-one package console price, and that's why I like the PS5. I just don't think it's worth it right this second, and with all the scalpers and all the stocks being shit and everything. I just don't think it's worth it right now. But like,
if you could get it, not scalpered or anything, you could just get it for the base rate, no problem. Right now, with all the games, it's worth it.
No, I don't think so.
At
the same, I do, yeah, absolutely. At the same time, that's what I was just about to say. At the same time, just because I don't think it's worth it, I'm saying that based on the fact that I also play PC. I play Steam more than I play anything, and it's like, if I've already got that experience already, it's like PS5. I really only have for the exclusives / any games that need an additional third-party software to download, i.e. Uplay or Epic Games. I don't want any of that shit on my PC. I've got Steam. I'm happy with Steam. I don't want to keep throwing my details around to other random companies, you know? So, oh my God, you're haunted.
Yeah, that is fucking creepy. Nan, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry. My nan's just opened and bought me in a roast.
Oh,
Nan, go away. I'm doing a
sorry.
podcast.
That is the most British thing I've ever heard.
Oh, do you want to see?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do. Right, well, it's on a little tray and everything.
My Lord.
Oh, right. I don't know what I've got.
That looks good. That looks so
I've
nice.
got a beer, so if you don't mind, I'm going to crack that open and drink that.
Oh, you crack that beer open. Oh my god. Sorry, I had to. Sorry, I had to interrupt the podcast. My nan gave me a roast dinner. That's the most British sentence anyone could ever say. Oh my god,
Right,
that's so good.
I need a I need a second to.
That was great.
Get
That was
back to where I am. Right. Hold on. What were we going to talk? Oh, right. So we're talking about the PS5. If we compare the PS5 launch to the PS4 launch, I don't think for me. I mean, I'm still in my final year as a student. It's not worth me buying a PS5 because there's not enough games out. Do you think at this point in the PS4's lifespan, it was more worthwhile?
I don't remember. Like, Knack was a launch title, and everyone loves that.
People like that ironically, right?
Yeah, people like it ironically. Yeah, but I don't think there was nothing. I mean, it takes a while for consoles to hit their groove. Aside from the PS2, that like PS2 launch, no one is ever going to top that. That was the fucking best launch of anything. Yeah. But like in general, though, yeah. The way I'm looking at the PS5 right now is that it's an awesome bit of kit. It's awesome. I really do love it. And it is providing me a decent substitute to playing things like, okay, like I was just saying, if in the PS4 generation, if I wanted an Assassin's Creed game, I'd probably have to get it on Steam. But if you got it on Steam, you would have 60 FPS, or maybe more. You'd be able to customize resolution, customize graphics, you know, all that shit. And then if you got the PS4 version, you'd have it by default downgraded 30 FPS at max, if that. And that's not a substitute. That's actually not. It's worse. It's just worse. So I never played. The last thing I played that was third party on a PS4 was that was like not available / I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I played Far Cry 4. Yeah, I played Far Cry 4 on my PS4, and after that happened, I made sure that any other game I got on the PS4 was at least 60 FPS. I could care less about the graphics because I didn't have the money for a good PC. I just wanted to make sure that I was getting the same gameplay experience.
You care that much about frame rate?
Yeah, now I do anyway. But that's because that's because I'm now PC. That's the thing. And when I was team console all the way from like PS3 to the middle of PS4, I was fine with it. I was like, oh wow, Far Cry 4 looks really, really good. I can't believe this game looks so good. Blah 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 blah. And then you play something like fucking Doom, like the original Doom reboot. That's PS4, 60 FPS. Neo, on the original PS4, 60 FPS. And then you have all these other games. Resident Evil 7, 60 FPS on PS4.
Yeah.
And it's like you see, and so like, oh, and even Metal Gear Solid 5, that was also 60 FPS on PS4. So it's like you saw all of them, and you're like, it's possible. So that's something I can get my head around. But then when it came to a lot of the PS4 library, I just didn't think it packed enough of a punch for me to put it down aside, like, and then go for the. I just don't think it was enough of a jump from PS3 to PS4. PS4 for a lot of its library felt like, to me, PS3 in terms of performance and how the game runs, but just looking a lot nicer than PS3, which is fine for most people, and that's great for most people. But after you see what PC is capable of, you get a little bit more picky, and that's why I'm really happy that PS5 is able to run games so smoothly and load them so quickly. Like it really does load them so quickly. I thought
the quality in storytelling for PS4 games was a giant leap. I mean, on the PS4 we had stuff like Uncharted 4 and stuff like that. I think
no complaints. No complaints.
It's quite nice leaving behind the sort of Gears of War era of video games. And even though people are saying single player games are dying, I think when you look back on first party exclusives for Xbox and PlayStation, they were a lot more story based than people remember.
Oh, absolutely, and that's not what I'm talking. I'm not
talking.
No,
I know that. That's how I'm just saying.
Yeah. And that's not me. And I don't want to come across as being a snob because I loved Uncharted 4, and that's a 30 FPS game. But there's a big difference when you have an exclusive that's pushing the system it's on to its limits, because that's what Uncharted 4 is doing. It's gorgeous. So I can look past it because A, it's genuinely beautiful, and B, it's a PS4 game made for the PS4. So you know that they pushed every inch of that to its limits. But then when it comes to any other third-party game, most of the time you were better off just getting it on fucking Steam. And that's what I'm saying. But now with PS5, it's genuinely, it's not a hard choice for me. I'll usually go with PC. But what I'm saying is that if you don't have enough money for a PC, you're not too far off with the PS5. It's expensive, but like, again, you can play third-party game. Every single game I've played on PS5 so far has run incredibly smoothly, loaded incredibly quickly, and it's impressive for a console to do that. And I haven't been impressed with a console since the graphical leap from the PS2 to the PS3. But PS4, just when you look at it in terms of launches and what it did and all that shit, yeah, VR was great and everything, but I don't know, it just didn't leave as much of an impact on me as I would have liked it to. But that's not me saying I didn't love it. I just don't think it was that amazing. But the PS5 has got a lot of promise.
That's what I like to hear, man. I mean, and you know what else I've noticed? I think people are arguing less about what consoles they prefer. So it's a nice time to be a gamer at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there are always going to be those people, especially now that they're so expensive now. So it's like people are now going to feel even more ways to justify the spending of their own money because people are very insecure nowadays.
Maybe it's just because I'm not in the gaming circles hearing about gaming all the time that I don't notice it. Maybe it's because I've delved into other things, but that could be why.
Well, see, yeah, that's me as well. I don't hear about half of the shit that happens as well. Like
do we?
No, well, it's like I didn't know about I knew bits and pieces, but I didn't realize the amount of shit surrounding Last of Us Part 2 until I then started playing it and then saw my chat. And then I was like, oh, okay. Oh, so Naughty Dog did that. Oh, so people didn't like this person because that. Oh, okay, people are arguing about that. And it's like, I just let them speak for themselves, you know.
At the end of the day, it's a video game. Like, what different, like, people literally acted like The Last of Us 2 destroyed their lives. And at the end of the day, it's a game. It's not a big deal. Can we move on from video games and talk a little bit more about you and your life?
If you really want to know, yeah.
I do want to know. I do.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to speak to you. You wouldn't believe it, but yeah, that's why. Okay, so you said in an interview that you struggle to relax. This was about a year ago. You struggle to turn off. Is that still fair to say? And why do you think that is? Oh, you don't think?
I don't think so anymore. I can't remember. I can't remember which interview you're referring to exactly.
It was one like 6 months or a year ago. It was just audio.
Okay, well, I can tell you now that whenever that interview was, and I could be completely wrong here, but that sounds like to me like I was in the middle of my original schedule that I did with my channel.
Right.
Which I don't do anymore. And because I don't do that anymore, I can't agree with my previous statement. I've learned a lot about how YouTube works in the last, I'm going to say 3 years. I've been in and out with the entire algorithm. I've been in and out with the system. I have spoken with actual YouTube devs. I have had meetings with people. Yeah, I've had high class, upper echelon meetings with these people. I have discussed my problems. I have aired my grievances. I have got a much better understanding of how the YouTube game is than I did even a year ago. I've learned a lot. And one of the things I definitely learned was for my channel specifically, and I'm not saying this is a general rule. I'm saying this is why I have to I have to emphasize it. My channel specifically, I can't upload frequently with trending games. It kills my channel. Because I mean, this is something that I've been building up a document just so I can remember what I'm talking about. I've been building up like a Google Doc, and I keep adding to it every new thing that I learn. It's basically like my own personal little like memo, I suppose, my memento for when I die of what I've learned about YouTube as a landscape as it's changed. And for my channel specifically, people never came or subscribed or watched to watch me talk about new games. They just don't. I can pretend that they care about what I think about all the new games, and a lot of people do, but not enough people do for YouTube to give a shit. And when YouTube doesn't give a shit, then everything falls apart, unfortunately. If this is your career, what you got to do, you got to figure out why it is that people watch you, what they like to see, exploit that, or well, not exploit, that's a bit of a harsh word, but just work around that, I suppose. And then you can find yourself doing 10 times better than you've ever done, but managing your time and managing your workload and your schedule 10 times easier. And that's what's happened here. I've gone from uploading, and this is, again, talking from experience. I started making YouTube videos. I started the Caddicarus show in 2012, and it started off as one Caddicarus episode every 2 weeks. And then it became once every week. And then it became once every week, and then a bonus video on Wednesday. And then it became once every week, bonus video Wednesday, film video on Friday. So at one point I was uploading 3 videos a week. And instead of YouTube looking at it and going, oh, you're uploading frequently, there's lots and lots of engagement. Oh my God. Like even if it's different people at different times, you're reaching out to so many different people. At the end of the day, it's not for my channel, it's not consistent enough. I'm not a Let's Player. I'm not somebody that has built an audience around fast fire weekly uploads or 3 times a week uploads. People usually come to see the Caddicarus show, which is fine. That's what people subscribed for. But the funny thing is that if I can't say you because, like, again, it's a personal to my channel and how it's built. But if I make 3 videos in a week that get 50k views each, let's just say 50k views on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, that's 150k altogether. That will completely tank my channel in terms of rankings than one video that has 150k on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, you could argue that makes a little bit of sense, maybe, because of watch time and everything. You could argue that makes a little bit of sense. What doesn't make much sense when you explain it is, how about I upload 3 videos a week that all get 100,000 views? So that's 300k. That still won't even come close to what 150k on one video will do, depending on its length and depending on what the subject is. And that's where shit gets really it gets really intricate, really confusing. It's about figuring out the sweet spot, how often you should upload, how long you should keep people waiting for, how long the video should be, what you should be talking about, how you present the video, how many things you talk about in the video, like how it's structured. Is it long because it goes on for too long, or is it long because you've got a lot to say and it's rapid fire and it's still fast paced, and blah, 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 blah. I can't just upload a 1-hour video of me talking to a camera every month and expect miracles. It's not going to happen. For other people, it can. There are vlog channels that are built around it. That's what I mean. It's the same tried and true formula doesn't work for everybody. And I'm just so happy that the 3 videos a week thing, which was, I'm not scared to say, absolutely murdering me inside out. It was so much work. I'm just happy that I was able to not find it sounds like, oh, I'm finding an excuse to upload less. It's not. It's about putting all my time, all my resources, all my effort, all my best possible effects, best possible gags, best possible everything written down, the best possible video I can do, and conglomerate it into an hour plus long video, and then get it out for a month and then start working on the next thing. I can dedicate way more passion and time and energy and everything I can, which is still a lot of work, but it's nowhere near as much work as 3 videos a week that I'm rushing out one after the other. And that's not me saying I didn't put any effort into it before, or it was quantity over quality or anything like that. I put as much effort into all my videos as I have done since 2012. But with with the way that YouTube has changed and the landscape has changed, it has been incredibly lucky for me to have finally found my sweet spot where I can be happy with what I make 100% and show it to everybody and be proud of it and be like, you know what? I can actually now afford to do this next time, instead of throwing out 3 videos a week, hoping that they do well, and then being like, okay, can I afford to keep doing this? actually, it doesn't matter. I kind of have to, otherwise I can't pay the bills. So
are you happy with the space that you take up on YouTube? Are you okay with your fans wanting the old video games instead of new stuff? Does it
absolutely, because this is what I was about to actually go into, which is the fact that one of the videos I did, which was the Wednesday videos, and this goes back onto what we were talking about, God of War, I did do reviews of newer games. But the problem is, as well as some of those videos do with views, that's not what people subscribed to me for. And it came to a point where instead of blaming YouTube and pointing fingers and being like, you're not showing off my video to all my subscribers, I just had to get my head out of my ass, look in the mirror and go, people don't care about me talking about this. Why would they watch me talk about this when they can watch Angry Joe talk about it? Because he has built his entire channel around brand new AAA games and talking about them. Why would they watch me? It's another opinion about the same game where you didn't subscribe to me for that. You wanted to watch me talk about the silly shit on PS1. So it's weird how, like, if you can find this, that's why Let's Play channels do so well. If you can find the sweet spot of talking about something that's trending and brand new, and you can upload frequently, and the videos are long, if you can get all three of them, then you're set for the rest of your life on YouTube. But if one of those things falls out, then you need to work out why that is and then work with the best with what you've got. And the best with what I've got is I can talk about silly old shit, maybe every so often a new thing like Crash 4, but that's because it's Crash Bandicoot, and that's just what people know me with my channel for. And just trying to roll with the punches and figure out why people liked me to begin with, why I've got this many subscribers to begin with, and just trying to tap into why that is instead of trying to chase the trends and talk about fucking Fortnite or talk about Minecraft or Roblox or anything. Like, because I can tell you right now, if I told you right now I'm working on an hour-long video about Roblox, you're not going to watch it. Are you?
I might. I'll give the first 10 minutes a watch.
There you go. You don't even have to. Yeah, you don't even have to be polite. I can see you're being polite. That's very sweet of you.
No, I would. I don't beat around the bush. The 10 minutes I would watch.
Okay, fair enough. But
really
what I'm
funny.
okay, but that's the thing. If you're someone that subscribed to me and you're not as invested as you are with, like, you've researched my thing. You said you've been a fan for a while and everything. So if you aren't as invested as that, then if you're subscribed to me because you just liked one video I did, then you're going to see that and go,
yeah, I don't care.
So fucking what? And then YouTube registers that, and then it tanks the rest of your channel. So then if you make one video in like 1 week that doesn't do very well, you can't then look at it and go, oh, it doesn't matter because the next video should hopefully do better, because YouTube have already registered that one video didn't do very well. They don't care about the reasons why. They just know that it didn't do well. And that's why the film videos had to go and everything, not because I didn't enjoy making them or because I don't want to give more videos to my fans and everything, but because if I do, I'm adding more workload onto me to tell YouTube that no one's watching me. And then as soon as that happens, every other video suffers, everything. And that's when people start not noticing new Caddicarus videos or not noticing any of this shit. So what I decided to do as a kind of substitute for not talking about new games in a review format is to start streaming them.
Yeah.
That way, I've got another outlet for people to interact with me. It's more frequent. I stream 3 times a week when I'm not sick or when I'm not like overworked or whatever. I haven't got the most consistent schedule, but like now it's like you've got the YouTube channel for the show. That's what it's there for. That's all it's there for. And everything else, I'm on social media and I'm on Twitch. And that's me now spread all over the internet. And it's benefiting everybody in some way or another. And if you can't catch me on Twitch, I've got my second channel. I upload all of my streams to that second channel. So whatever you're doing, you've got a stream of something from me, which benefits YouTube's algorithms and that also doesn't completely murder my brain in terms of workload. It's still a lot of work. I have to keep emphasizing that. It's still a ton of work, but it's nowhere near as bad as what I used to do. And the return I was getting on it, because I was getting nothing in return for the amount of videos I was doing. And I'm just so happy that I figured out why that is. And I've managed to game the system to my advantage. And now I am 10 times happier than I was even before 2020. That's why I'm saying to people, if you want to see what kind of videos I do, start at 2020 and work from there, because those are the videos I can say that's me. The rest of them, they've meant something to somebody at some point in their lives, but that is a different me. That is a different me, a different person. I'm never going to get rid of them. They're there for nostalgia for some people. They're there because other people genuinely find them funny. They're there for millions of other reasons. But for me, no. I'm going to say go with, yeah, they're long. I know the videos from 2020 onwards have been very long and they've been very spaced out. But I genuinely think, I hope, sorry, not think, that's the wrong word. I genuinely hope that they're worth the wait. And that's all I've wanted. I didn't want to become a channel where if I upload one Caddicarus video a week, if you weren't that interested in one of them, you're like, oh, it's okay, there'll be another one next week. That's not what I want. I want every video to feel special. And I'm glad that seems to be what the audience think. That's all I really wanted.
You're one of those YouTubers like JonTron that but to be fair, I looked through your upload schedule and I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more sparse. I was expecting it to.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually surprised how consistent you are, because people that make your kind of content in general, because they have to put so much time into it, barely upload. You're relatively at least one a month, or by the numbers. But you're one of those YouTubers like JonTron that you drop a video, and because you put so much effort into it, it means something. And even if you don't know, whoa, sorry, you went like really big on my screen then.
Oh, sorry, no, I just readjusted my seat. That was all.
Right there, you like froze and got really big.
I grew.
Yeah, you did. Anyway, but like you're one of those YouTubers that even if you don't know what the content's about, you'll still watch it because you built the brand for yourself. And I also think what you were saying there, I think a lot of people on YouTube these days, they get hit with the demonetization stick, or their videos aren't doing as well as they used to.
Yeah, I forgot about demonetization. I didn't even mention fucking demonetization.
Well, we're going to get into that in a second. But a lot of people will like cry about it. I saw a quote from, it was on a Joe Rogan podcast with Guy Ritchie. And he said, a lot of people say, don't hate the player, hate the game. He said, don't hate the game, learn the game, abuse the game. And that sort of sounds like what you're saying. It sort of sounds like, what's the point of me crying about how bad this system can be when I can now use this to my advantage and make a brand for myself, because that's the way it's working at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, relatively. I think that's pretty, not spot on, but pretty accurate. Yeah, like I was saying, like if like people aren't interested, just using the new game reviews I used to do on Wednesdays as an example, if people weren't as interested in seeing me talk about a massive load of baby PS1 games as they were about me talking about the newest God of War game, which is undeniably true. You can search God of War review Caddicarus and you can see the view counts. You can see there's a big difference. And that video has been out for a while. So I'd be surprised if it's, I don't know, 200K. I'd be surprised if it's 200K. I don't know what it is right now. I don't look at my numbers that often, but like I'd be surprised if it was there. But you look at that and then you look at the baby games videos and you can see it breached 1 million, and you're like, okay, so you can see what the audience is more interested in. So why would I put more of the time that I could be spending into the main show that people subscribed for, and that I could put more time into with like I said, the effects and the quality of the writing and the camera work and everything? Why would I take that time away from that show to talk about a game where a lot of people are going to like, don't get me wrong, but not as much / don't give a shit about at all, when I could just take that new game, put it on another service, i.e. Twitch, stream it that way, and then you're not only seeing me play, react / critique as I'm going through with the new game, but you're also able to interact with me in real time. You're also able to chat with me. I can chat with you. It's all live, and then it gets uploaded onto the second channel in case you missed it. So whatever the case, like that, there's more breadth in doing that for me than there is in condensing a massive playthrough, playing an entire game from start to finish in 3 days, editing a fucking video, having hours and hours of footage to go through, writing a script, fucking recording it, only to then release it and have a good fair amount of people for my subscriber count, a good fair amount of people watching it, but YouTube going, not good enough, and then fucking tanking, not just tanking the revenue or whatever the hell, but tanking everything that comes out after that. And that's the thing that sucks, because that's how I discovered YouTube works, in the harshest way possible. Is that if you do one thing that YouTube doesn't is not in YouTube's favor, or that YouTube just assumes that you're not very good with, like, okay, you upload to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been into the dashboard and everything, and you've seen that one of the first things you see when you log in is either big green text saying more people are interested than usual, or big red text, and it could be 0.3% less of people, but they will go red. Because that's literally how it is. It's either good, if you're not as good as usual, or you're not better, then you're red. And then the second you're red, they then doubt you, and when they doubt you, you then just lose traction. And that's what was happening with my channel, and that's why something had to give, something had to change. And that's why, like, I know that some people out there miss some of the shows I used to do. I understand that. But like, especially when it comes to my opinions on newer games, they're all there. They're just on a different thing now. I've evolved with the times, essentially.
Yeah, as a user, I never cared for Twitch. I don't get it. I don't understand why people would want to sit down and watch somebody play a game for ages when they could play it themselves. I'm an old man at heart, that's why. But I understand. I sort of do get why people want to watch it, but I also completely understand why, as you as a content creator, Twitch must be the best thing ever. I mean, if every time you upload, I know it. I follow people on Twitch. I get a notification every single time. And then that's money, and then people donate you how much money you want, and that is just, you can get up to what you want to do, and people will watch it. You don't have to edit it forever.
I mean, to be honest, the donations and everything are very, very, very much appreciated, and they go straight back into the videos. Hence, I was actually talking to everybody at home. I was talking with Mason just before we went live about the fact that I'm currently building a new studio outlet in my back garden. So the money does invest, it does go back into the channel. So like, people can say, oh, you don't upload enough. Shit goes down. Don't get me wrong. Shit goes down. Just because you don't upload as frequently doesn't mean you're not working less. And that's the key of what I'm trying to like get across with. Yeah, I upload less and it's benefiting me more, but that doesn't mean I'm getting lazier. It's not that at all.
You get shit like that a lot. Do you get people saying to you like, where are the videos? Where are all the old videos?
Occasionally, but then what you've got to say to them is, well, I mean, first of all, you mostly just ignore them, because like, what can you say? What can you do? But then sometimes you're in a good mood and you'll just explain why. And then other times, like, if you're rude to me, then I don't fucking, you've lost me, you know? It's like, I'm not going to give you the fucking benefit of the doubt. If you're going to be rude to me, then your mum didn't teach you good manners, so I'm going to fucking teach it back, you know? I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm going to give you what you gave me, you know? So, but like, it's half the time I've got shit to do, you know. I don't care. If you're not happy with the old upload schedule, I'm really sorry, but the old videos are still there, and I'm still making videos. And by the way, I don't know if you didn't notice, but they're fucking an hour long now. Like, I'm not uploading one Caddicarus episode a week that's 10+ minutes anymore. It's like some people treat what I'm doing now as if like I'm talking about one singular game for 12 minutes once a month, and it's like, no, it's not. And all you got to do is look at one of my videos from 2017 and look at one of my more recent videos. And I think you can see, I hope you can see the difference in quality, in the pacing, the writing, and everything, because that's what you do when you have more time.
That's the thing that YouTubers have either done. They've either done exactly what you've done, and they've gone, actually, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to make these, really put loads of money into it. Or they've done what PewDiePie's done, and they've gone, fuck this, I can just react to stuff on Reddit and I'll get loads of views.
Yeah, and that can work.
Business decisions, but I would much rather watch your content. But
yeah, because that's what I'm saying. For lots of other people, that works, and that's great, and I'm happy for them. There's loads of people that can get away with daily gameplay videos, and like, you would think with like what am I on, like 700 and something thousand subs, you'd think with like that many subscribers, you'd think automatically, oh, if I start uploading gameplay videos, that must mean that I'm going to start picking up the same kind of audience as what I usually. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. And some people like to think that because of that, it's like YouTube. Well, no, it's not me. YouTube are not sending the video out, and it's like, no. You need to accept that people are seeing it in their subscription feeds, and they just don't care because that's not what they subbed to you for. And yeah, once you realize that, and again, I have to reiterate again because I don't, one thing I don't like is when people take you out of context. So I have to make it clear. This is not me saying I didn't try when I was uploading more. I tried my bollocks off, and I'm still trying my bollocks off, but it's a different kind of try, because when you've got a week's worth of work to do, and you've got a brand new game to review on a Wednesday, a sit down vloggy kind of review of a movie on the Friday, and then on the Sunday you've got to make the thing that people have subscribed for. You've only got so much time to refine it. I can do as best as I can for a week's worth of workload and like work cycle time, but it's just factually not going to be as high quality as if you have more time to put into it. It's not because I didn't try, or I just didn't give a shit, or I was just rushing shit out because I wanted more videos and quantity over quality. No, it was just I thought that's what I needed to do. I could work really quickly, and that's the kind of video I can get done in a week. And that's the old me. That's the old me, and that's not me anymore. And I'm glad that that's not me anymore, because it's in a very, very happy turn of events, completely out of my control and not knowing what was going to happen. It's now eventually benefited me to the point where I can now spend money to build a green screen outlet in my back garden with the proper fucking lights and the proper soundproofing, and upgrade the stability and the connectivity around my internet, like the internet infrastructure in my house, and build a new PC, which I'm working on right now for fucking streaming and making that better. Everything goes back into it, you know.
What I got from there is green screen, so we're gonna get Caddy in space. That's what I
mean, I've done green screen shit before, but it wasn't pro. And like I'm now at a position where I'm now at a position where I'm able to again like invest into myself. And
Endgame, that's what we're going to be getting.
Yeah, well, you never know. I don't even know what I'm going to do half the time, and until I start writing a script, I don't even know what's going to happen. But
that's the way it goes, man, isn't it?
Yeah.
So moving on from that, that actually gave me a lot to think about on my channel about. Anyway.
Okay, sorry if I'm rambling, by the way. I tend to do that.
It's all right.
And sometimes my thoughts can come across as a bit disjointed and convoluted.
You know what I find interesting? You're just as energetic right now as you are in your videos. So that was
okay.
Most people have a persona. You're still very energetic.
Well, that's what I was trying to say from the beginning with the AVGN thing. It's like, yeah, I'm not a character. I'm a person, and those are the videos I make as that person, just slightly exaggerated. That's all. So
yeah. So you've sort of gone through the levels of YouTube. You've been a YouTuber a while. Like it seems like you've got management and stuff like that. Like you got a whole thing going on.
Yeah.
Has it stopped being a hobby for you and become a job? Or do you still have the enjoyment in it?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying with my stupid, incoherent rants for the last, half an hour. Yeah, I enjoy it more now purely because my time management and work management is way better.
Yeah.
Before, I loved my job before. I'm not saying I never did. It's so hard when you do this as a career to not come across as like first world problems, you know? And it's like, I am never, ever going to say for a second I don't enjoy my job or I'm not lucky to be where I am. I know I'm lucky to be where I fucking know that every day I wake up. I know that. And I've known that ever since I got my first paycheck in 2014 and I was able to quit my cashier job at Waitrose. And the second that happened, I knew I was lucky. And so it's like, yeah, no one in America is going to get that, but fuck it. But it's like, snobby supermarket full of rich twats. So there you go. I worked in that place as a cashier.
Don't call yourself a rich twat.
Yeah, you got treated like dirt.
But the reason I ask isn't so much like I get the whole you're happier with it now.
Yeah, okay.
I've interviewed people with. I'm not trying to be a dick. I've interviewed people with more subscribers than you, but
yeah, no. I know there are more people that are more popular.
They've gone. I still feel like it's my hobby, and that's why I was like, is it even though it is your job, does it feel like a job, or is it still like, how old were you when you started? Like 17, something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I started uploading when I was 16, so
Yeah.
like,
Does it feel, because even when you were 16, your videos were still had a lot of effort in it. Does it feel much different from when you were 16?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I honestly think that I'm sure there are some I'm not generalizing, I'm just saying people that do the kind of videos I do, well, especially like if you're a Let's Play channel and you can shoot the shit, upload a video daily, and that can be a consistent, sustainable source of income for you, then awesome. That's great. I can't do that. Twitch is a little bit unsustainable for me because it depends on what game I play, how many people are watching, how many, like, there's a million things with Twitch that can go wrong. But for me specifically, I genuinely think when people say, "Oh, this is the thing," when what people say, it's when they say, "I'd be doing it even if I wasn't making any money," and I can full on heartedly say that past me would have said that, and that's because I had nothing to lose.
Yeah, man.
I've got shit to lose now. I've got shit to lose now. I am a company. I've got shit to lose. And that is not me saying that I will throw a screaming fucking fit if all of this falls apart and I'm going to start petitioning people and asking for Kickstarters. Whatever happens, happens, In fact, December 2019, I nearly quit YouTube entirely. I nearly shut the channel down.
Shit. How come?
And that was because I was doing my 3 videos a week thing.
Yeah, too much stress.
Well, it was 2 videos a week at that point, because I was doing 3, and then that was too much, so I went down to 2. And all my numbers were dropping. Subscribers weren't interested. Numbers were dropping. Ad revenue was dropping. It was getting to the point where I could just barely scrape by with the bills, the basic bills. And it was too much. And I was like, honestly, I think I'd have to put my hat in the ring somewhere else. I don't think YouTube is sustainable for me at this point anymore. And it was MagFest 2020. So January 2020, just before this whole shit fest of COVID kicked up. Went to MagFest in Washington or wherever it was. I think it was Washington. And met all my fans. And yeah, we had amazing turnouts at the panels, amazing turnouts at the meet and greets. And not that it did, like, it always invigorates me to meet everybody that has taken time out of their lives to watch me be stupid on a computer screen. Like that it's incredibly humbling, and I love doing it. But something that was becoming a running theme was lots of people coming over to me at the meet and greets, asking for things to be signed, and then they'd come and then they'd, not rudely, and I don't take it personally at all, because why would I take it personally? I'm not an egomaniac. But they would kind of look at me and go, "You know what? I used to love your channel, and you made a big impact on my life, and I just wanted to meet you and say hi and thank you for what you've done. But what you're doing now is just not my thing." Yeah. And that's when that became enough of a recurring comment where I was like, holy shit, maybe it is me. Maybe it's partly YouTube and partly me. So when I made my first big ass long video, which I think was I spent $115 on the PS Store video, where I talk about Gilson P. Pontes games and Life of Black Tiger on PS4. I go to the PS Store and find the worst shit, and I spend a lot of money on it. And that video was kind of like my Final Fantasy, I suppose. It was do you know what? If this doesn't work out, I'm doing something else, because I can't sustain my channel. I can't sustain my family. I can't sustain my house. So it's like, I got and I wasn't streaming at that point either. So I had no secondary outlet. So I was like, I've got no other shit to do. What's the harm of me just doing a video about whatever the fuck I want to do? Fuck trends. Fuck trying to get in the algorithms. Fuck trying to get in like search trending. Fuck uploading shit like every week just to stay relevant. I'm going to make a video however long I want it, about whatever I want. And as soon as, and I had nothing to lose. It, like I said, kind of the Final Fantasy story. It was like I think that's why that game is called Final Fantasy, because it was like the final, oh, we've got nothing to lose. Let's just put everything into it. And if it goes great, awesome. Let's carry it on. If not, no big deal. We'll find something else. And that's the crossroads I was at. And just luckily enough for me, the lightning box struck again. Channel was reinvigorated. And that's when I then discovered / figured out over the course of 2020, how my channel works in modern day YouTube and all of that shit put together.
That's genuinely so scary.
It's terrifying.
The fact that you went from there and everybody loving you to then barely having enough money to pay the bills. That must have fucked you up when you heard those people saying that. I mean, even though it's nice they were saying that.
Oh
like,
God, yeah.
It must have been like that. Being a YouTuber sounds terrifying.
I mean, when people were saying that, you'd think you'd take it personally, but for me, because I was already at rock bottom in terms of my analytics and everything, and it was like, this might be my final farewell, my final convention. I don't know. I wasn't going to make a big deal about it because it's like, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Nobody does. So I just treated it like any other thing. And when people started saying that, instead of taking it personally, I took it as a lifeline. It was like, is this the answer? Is this the fucking answer? And it turned out it was. Well, part of the answer anyway. And it worked, and it ended up working out for me. And I'm very, 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 very happy it did. Yeah. But that's, so going back to the original point about hobby versus career, this is like, if I wasn't doing this as my career and I was doing some other job, 9 to 5 somewhere else, or I was running a company somewhere, or whatever the hell I would be doing other than this, I was going into TV before YouTube happened, actually. But I was, whatever I'd be doing, I still love making the videos, and that's the drive and the hobbyist mentality that got me to making videos in the first place. But that again, I started making videos as a hobby because I had nothing to lose. I was living with my parents. I had no bills. I had no family. It was just me, my school, and my videos. And my videos were the only other thing I liked doing aside from occasionally drumming and playing games. So it was like, if I can work with it, great. If I can't, no big deal. And if I was doing something else, to be perfectly honest, I would still try because I enjoy doing it. But to think that I would do as big of videos as I'm doing now, as often as I'm doing, and when I say often, I mean once a month, we're talking probably one longish video every 6 months if I had other shit going on. And that's not because, oh, I would do it for the fans regardless. It's because I've got a fucking life, you know, and you got to focus on that. So it's difficult to mix both together. Because it is definitely a hobby. I still love doing it. I'm still grateful that I'm doing it. And I'm still like, I'm amazed every day I wake up that I'm able to do it. And it's definitely, like you said, it's a hobby of mine. If it wasn't a hobby of mine, if I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't be fucking doing it, you know? It's like, because I'm in control of my own destiny with this, you know? So I could just stop it whenever I wanted to, you know? And it's like, I could take the stress all off of me and give it to someone else, and I could work under somebody else or do something else. So it's very easy for me to say no, but like, I enjoy it. I love it. I love doing it. It's my hobby. It is my hobby, but it is also my career. I don't think you can be one over the other. If it's got big enough where it becomes your income, then both just mix without you realizing it / noticing it / whether you like it or not, because unless you have nothing to lose, it can't be just your hobby. Like if it becomes your career and you want to keep it running as your career, then you've got to have the hobbyist mentality to make sure that you're enjoying doing it, but also you've got to be sensible with what you're doing with everything else going on in your life. And if I was doing something else, then yeah, I would love to still, and I would still stream and I would still make videos, but it just would not happen as often as people would expect them to. And that's partly because people don't really understand what work goes into the videos, but yeah, there's a load of other factors too. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. But yeah, in terms of in general, yes, it's definitely still my hobby, but it is definitely also my career. Like they're coexistent. They exist simultaneously.
Well, I've got a last couple of questions for you, and then I've got to eat this little bad boy over here.
Oh God, yeah, you're gonna have to reheat it.
Yeah. But so that's carrying on, like you say, you've got stuff to lose now. Compared to when you started YouTube, how much has your life changed over these years?
Crazy, absolute. I mean, and I've said this before multiple times in multiple panels in front of my kids. I hate kids.
Yeah.
And I never envisioned myself in a position where I've essentially not adopted but taken on my partner's kids, and at the time it was 3, now it's 2 because the eldest one's moved out. But like I never saw my life getting to this point, but you know, life throws crazy shit at you. But like, yeah, I've just been able to keep growing things around me and keep and make sure that they've got a good life as well, which is another thing that's a good motivator as well, to get up in the morning. Is making sure that they're all okay and that they're enjoying their lives as best as they can and everything. But yeah, like I've gone from in my parents' like in my parents' house in my own tiny little bedroom to my own house, like in the space of not too long. And all things considered.
It's
and that's unbelievable.
It's quite wholesome seeing you like get a little family and stuff. Because like I say, like I watched you since I was a kid, and it's interesting watching you sort of like grow and then start a family and stuff like that. And I was like, that's cute, man. It's nice to see like a lot of YouTubers, they get bigger and they do what Jake Paul does and they buy a fucking mansion and they just get loads of women. Whereas like you sort of like grew up and like you settled down and like the American dream.
Yeah, in a weird roundabout way, yeah. But like again, I don't hold like if people get big on YouTube doing their own thing in their own way, like you do you know. I know what I like and I know what I need to do. Going back to the last question, I know what I need to do to keep it in the hobbyist mentality and not just doing it because I have to do it, because that sucks. That sucks. Nobody wants to see that. You don't want to see that. I don't want to do it. So yeah, you have to keep the hobbyist mentality alive. Absolutely. And again, if I wasn't doing this, I would absolutely still be doing it, just nowhere near as often at all. Nowhere near as often, because I live for the entertainment. That's why I said at the very beginning, I've never classed myself as a professional journalist, professional reviewer, because at the end of the day, I'm here to entertain people. So whatever I do, if the channel crashes and burns tomorrow or YouTube itself implodes tomorrow, whatever I do, I will try to find a way to keep entertaining people, because that's what got me to this point. So yeah, of course, I would still try my hardest to do it. It's still my hobby. It's still something that I love to do to keep me occupied. But yeah, you just have to think about everything else sometimes. But I'm rambling now. I'm just repeating myself.
It's all right. Don't worry. I'll do one final question.
Okay.
So over your span of YouTube, what would you say your most proud moment has been? Or even not just on YouTube, just in general or in life?
Well, I guess how my kids have turned out, I suppose.
That's cute, man. Yeah.
Because as I said, kids are the fucking devil's spawn. They suck. They suck. More accurately, the parents suck. But what I didn't want to do was become that kind of parent, and it's going good so far. They're not. I would never ever go around and say, "Oh, they're mini me's," because obviously it's not just me. People see me, and then it's like Karis, my partner, doesn't get anywhere near as much credit because she's just not online publicly all the time. But like, it's a joint effort, and she's taught me a lot about human beings by raising them, not kids, human beings. And I've learned a lot about human beings since raising them, or partly raising them rather. And I'm happy that like we can do like more mature adulty things with them without being that family that everyone looks at and talks about behind their backs as being terrible, because that's what you assume based on you going out to the streets. That's what you assume that having kids is like, and it's not. It's about human beings. It's about passing things on, and I'm glad that I'm very, very, very proud of them every single day.
Have you passed on all your nerdy qualities to them?
No. That's the thing. You can't.
They're girls, right?
Yes, all of them are. Yeah. And like all you can do is exist, and if they're interested, engage with it. If not, no big deal. We're different people. That's the idea. I've never imprinted. I've never forced. We've never done anything like that. Like we're pretty lax in this house. Like especially when it comes to games and movies, like when it comes to like age ratings on things, like our youngest is, she'll be 11 in a couple of days actually. And ever since she was fucking like 6 or 7, she's been watching video games that are 16, 18 plus. Yeah. And it's not because we're like, oh, well, like oh, you have to because this is what I love and you're gonna love it. And like, we're not trying to prove a point or traumatize the kid or toughen her up or anything. It's that if she likes it and she understands that it's fake, then what are we gaining from making it taboo?
Yeah, man.
Embrace it. Like, teach and embrace. Don't fucking gatekeep. Don't make things taboo. Don't scare things away. If we're watching a horror movie downstairs, like I'm trying to think of an example that happened. That was it. This was years ago. We were watching The Woman in Black, which is not the best movie ever made, but it's pretty good. Daniel Radcliffe horror movie, and we were watching it, and our middle child was she was much younger than she was now, but we were just watching it with our eldest, and she came downstairs because she was curious about what we were watching. And instead of being those people that are like, oh no, we must protect the innocent eyes, oh my god, get away, it's too young, you're too young for this, or it's too old for you, we'd just say, oh yeah, we're watching this movie, it's about this. And she, because she's interested, it's like, what, do you want to sit down and watch it with us? If you don't like it, you can leave.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's the way it should be, right?
No harm done. We're never gonna staple their eyes shut and force them to traumatize themselves. But it's like, well, look, this is the movie we're watching. It's adult time. We're here with the eldest one, and we're watching this horror movie. And if the middle one comes down, it's like, I'm interested. It's like, yeah, all right, cool. If you don't like it, you can just cover your eyes, leave. No big deal. At the end of the day, it's not real. It's fine.
If you hide that stuff from them, that's how you create crazy children, right?
Well, I mean, not even crazy children, but like kids that feel like they're being, gatekept from things, and like they then, it's just it's a slippery slope, in my personal opinion, anyway. It's not about exposing them to ultra violence just for the sake of it. It's just about treating them like tiny human beings. It's like, you talk to them how you would expect to be talked to. If they don't talk to you in a certain way that you wouldn't expect to be talked to by a stranger on the street, then you fucking teach them out of it. You don't need to raise a hand. You don't need to smack. You don't need to do any of this shit. You need to mold them into a human being that exists in society.
Yeah, man. And like, love them and they'll be all right, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Caddy, thank you very much for coming on my podcast. It's been
thank you for the invite. It's been so much fun. Thank you.
It's been really good. I've really enjoyed talking to you. I've wanted to chat to you for a while, and like I say, I've been watching you for a while, so it's cool. It's cool having this experience.
Thank you so much.
And seeing like 3/4 of your room.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, thought it's like 3/4 of me as a person. Like, you don't want to know about the last quarter, man. You don't want to know about what goes on in that last quarter.
Yeah, no, apparently not. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on, buddy. I'll see you soon.
No worries, dude. Thanks for having me on.
Bye bye.